situations. Matt Ryan has ultimate trust in Julio Jones.
Pass complete here to Sanders. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now Ryan on first down. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7 our score. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Ryan. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. Oh, spinning away. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
After the interception, here's Wilson. It's caught. Block it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. First down, Seahawks. On first down, Carson. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Wilson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. This is Carson. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fielded at about the 28. Going to be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. You're down 3, under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But, boy, getting in a field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
This complete to Jones. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Now this one complete on the slant route. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 21-yard line.
To throw again is Wilson. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And an alley to run. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Chris Carson with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Freeman again. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Back at the 16-yard line.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They give him a gain of 37. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Ready, get ready. Right 25. Let's get that ball, man. Let's get that ball right here.
Now Ryan. And Sanders has got it complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, 1st down Falcons.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones with touchdown number 8 on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
3 down, 3 down. 57, Mike 57.
Wilson now to throw again. That's caught by Hollister. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Wilson now, 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
You got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. Matt Ryan trying to lead the Falcons from behind. Last year in 16 starts, just 1 4th-quarter comeback for the QB. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guy?
And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Falcons have retaken the lead. Extra point right down the middle, and that will make this a 4-point game. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. It's complete to Lockett. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down. On the delay, here's Carson. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with his 4-point 4th-quarter lead.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Wilson. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 40. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Wilson now rebounding nicely after the interception. He's hit 4 straight to start the drive. It's first down. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. 2nd and 10 now. Wilson out to his left. And some space here. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. Draw play. This is Carson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But the bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack. Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. That's going to be caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down.
At the 2-yard line.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Let's go, team. Big series right here. So we got to step it up. Further.
They'll try to run with Carson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now Wilson. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. Back to throw. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They're going on 4th down. It's Ryan. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty, and with that, the ball game is over. So the victory here for Seattle, and this not always an easy proposition, Charles. You had a West Coast team that traveled east, but they got the job done.
And there's so much that goes into it because your body time and your body clock different from what you're used to west, because if you go east, you're going to lose up to 3 hours. Right? So is your body going to be awake when it's time to play? A lot of teams actually rehearse it. They practice it. Maybe the week of the game, they move everything up to that time frame so guys get used to doing it that way. I remember when I played at Tennessee, when we had to go from east to west, our trainer Tim Karen said, leave your watches on East Coast time. Every piece of information we got was East Coast Standard Time. Try to psychologically tell us what to do, as well as prepare our bodies the same way.
So for the Seahawks, a loss would have really hurt. As it stands, they finished the first half at 3-5, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5, and they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10.